Nagasan, the waiter who took the stand earlier.
Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter cannot possibly have that level of influence. For once, I agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter. What? If he truly were? Come on, Ryunosuke, time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity is proven by this evidence. The business card.
Yes!
Oh, that would also explain why he was so hesitant to hand it over.
I'm not sure what this is supposed to prove, Counsel.
I think, Your Excellency, that what this proves is not the true nature of the waiter, but the true nature of the accused.
Sorry?
A blackguard who would stoop to presenting irrelevant evidence to incriminate an innocent man. That's the true nature of this rookie.
Wag. Uh-oh. Got it wrong?
Do you have to, like, inspect it?
Oh. It wasn't letting us suspect before.
Like, it's pulsating. Do you have to, like, pulsate it?
Now it's working. I clicked it before and nothing happened.
Well, that's unexpected.
What is it?
There goes our perfect run. Pack it in, boys.
With a Nuzlocke, we gotta start over now.
Do you see it says the witness's name here is Satoru Hosonaga?
Well, yes. Business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point.
Yeah. It's not the name that's unexpected, it's his job title.
His job? Oh. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth?
Cousin went to the wild. That's what Shady said. I have no idea, but let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here... I think we were right, I just think we didn't inspect it.
Yeah, I don't know why I tried clicking it before and it didn't work. But here, let's try it again. Alright then, I'll try.
They should give us the mistake back because they just didn't give us time to explain. This wouldn't be like this in real life.
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. I agree it shows great deal of attention to detail, but I am not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency, that's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest.
Very concise. Very concise, Ryunosuke.
Beg your pardon. Perhaps I should have said the front?
There you go, buddy.
Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's the detail is.
Oh, God. Ryunosuke, no. It's the outside part of the inside.
Would someone please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say?
Hosonaga-san sketched a plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card to reveal the man in question's profession, his true profession.
The waiter's profession, surely. Good gracious.
Could you imagine if we get a game over because of this one mistake? That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What?
The waiter is a police detective?
I don't think we're finishing this case tonight.
I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power, absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene?
Well, Inspector Hosonaga, I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
He could have just been like, let me
well-
sketch it because it's my own card.
Is the right problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are.
It's like, I'll just make a quick copy of it. It'll be quick, I promise.
Yes, I remember now. He did act strange when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
So you mean to say you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course. Your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Also, I think it's fair now to say what his name means, which you probably don't know.
Oh, I didn't even think about it. Yeah, we didn't figure out.
Well, that's
What was his first name?
Satoru.
Satoru. No, I don't know what it means.
Satoru roughly means enlightenment, which makes sense for a detective.
Fair enough.
And
Hosonaga is just like a last name?
Hosonaga actually is a combination of the kanji for thin and tall.
Oh, because he is thin and tall.
Yeah.
Lord.
Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover.
Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents?
That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Are you getting distracted?
Oh, this is
Oh,
you.
this is me. Yeah.
You're
Wow.
getting distracted.
Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga, but you will elaborate on one point for the court. I was getting distracted. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard
Right now.
new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would have been aware of this person's presence, having served in the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable.
I feel like this coughing thing is just like a huge red herring. As I suspected. Bang.
Bang! As soon as I heard that gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman.
So the truth comes out.
I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then that I received some special orders.
Special orders.
Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once? It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would have been in everyone's interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment.
The woman was actually the queen.
An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman is the primary suspect.
It'd be so funny.
Well, without irrefutable evidence, it would be completely out of the question.
So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom woman in this case.
But it's not right. Margaret Thatcher strikes back.
I mean, she just got into her position that year. One possibility does spring to mind.
What do you mean, Kazuma?
Yuma University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical facilities research laboratory, is a young English woman.
What?
What? The one English woman?
You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're chosen the candidate for the overseas study tour.
Listen, I would make a joke that she's the only woman at the university, but it might be true.
You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. So whose name keep changing? Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yuma University's medical facility.
What's happening here?
I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies.
Giselle Brett.
It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise, namely that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
My man.
But Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send a telegraph to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be displeased by such actions.
Calm yourselves, Council. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir. You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency.
Giselle Brett.
At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you're gonna have to go. You'll be going against the special orders we're giving from the police bureau.
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly.
It doesn't seem like it when you
It won't be a
lied.
problem. Nothing will get in my way.
Yeah. He's made a blood oath to not reveal his and like he's getting cursed for it.
Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening.
Oh. Dun dun dun. To be continued next time. Thank you, gamers.
No,
for catching
we're
up.
continuing a bit more.
Okay. I got lost. The only thing I can think about Giselle Brett is just like Jezebel, but that's seems like a weird. Like it doesn't mean anything. It's just Jezebel. It's like a bad woman.
That's a good guess. I'm not. I want to wait till you know more about her.
Fair. Just for the record, this is like True Blind at this point.
We're not finishing this today, Dragon.
Excellent work. Case to the finish. Excellent work, Rianowski. That was superb.
Ugh. My heart was in my mouth the entire time.
Oh, you could have put a poll to see if we were going to finish today.
Nah.
It's almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there.
It gives an advantage to people who know the game. Kazuma.
You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth.
Arms heavy, vomit on your sweater already.
Mom spaghetti. He's nervous, but on the surface he's just mom spaghetti. Drop down, but he keeps mom spaghetti. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. Yeah, I like that. Just a Brit, or like what Shady's saying, it probably has something to do with like Britain.
Okay.
I think you may have a natural talent for being a lawyer.
Forget it, I'm just terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Kazuma's laughing because he can see past the fourth wall.
Anyways, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Miss Giselle Brett. A student from Great Britain, is she?
That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along.
Yes, you have, haven't you? Could it be, like, jailbait? That's so weird. No.
No.
That's gross.
Stop thinking about it. You don't have the pieces for this puzzle yet.
That hasn't stopped me, Professor Layton, from solving the puzzles.
It might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of.
Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that?
No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table. I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and just after that I bent down and picked it up. Like we haven't heard this 5 times.
Right.
I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen.
Get in there! Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended his subject without a moment's delay.
Suspect.
Yes,
and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. There you are. Well done, both of you. God, I don't remember what I did.
It's my boy, Professor Mikatoba.
Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say.
Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial.
Our model country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled.
Well, it makes no difference. Loyal or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to studies overseas anyways.
What?
Oh,
What are you
yikes.
saying, Kazuma?
Please don't.
So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma. Well then, looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. So, I'll at least can reveal this guy's name if you haven't gotten that. Which you probably don't. What?
About Miko is that like a Miko? It's like a shrine maiden, right? Is that a thing? But it's probably not relevant.
No. I mean, Mikotoba is hymonymous with the expression "word of God" or to take someone out of their word, but it's more of his first name.
What's his first name?
Eugen.
Eugen. Is it? It sounds a lot like Shujin, which is how you say prisoner.
No, it's
Japanese.
hymonymous with friend. He was a friend of the victim.
Naruhodo.
Oh, I see.
I didn't know that before.
Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible.
But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide.
Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt you pair will put up a good fight right to the last. Best of luck! Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need.
Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama.
Defender Naruhodo. Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once.
It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what hit them.
Kazuma.
What?
Thank you. Really.
What for?
Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now.
Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend.
Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is.
Is this going to be like a Mia face
So this
situation?
isn't just my battle anymore.
It's going to feel real bad.
Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. I don't know what you mean, but... Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial.
You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on the university. Oh my god, this is going to be a Mia face situation. I'm getting emotional already. She was like narked at the beginning of the first game.
Why do you think that he's gonna be narked?
Because she also said that they were going to have burgers. Chad, you can't lie to me. I already feel it. With extra large portion, of course. Ugh. I'm truly getting emotional. I like my boy. See, Shady feels the same way. It's the vibe. It's happening.
Yeah, what does Shady know, though?
He was on my journey with me.
The court hereby resumes the trial of Ramsgate no Hodo. Prosecutor Ouchie, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Ugh, sorry.
Let the government scrutinize. That's the job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down in our nation's founders?
Again, terribly sorry.
If the friendship between our nation is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is that what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan? Or of England?
Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy. You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in.
Oh, that's new.
By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I won't deny that I'm no expert, I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there's one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all.
Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats!
Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Okay, what do I do for her?
Yes,
What's the vibe? Give me a vibe check.
Your Excellency!
Proper English gentlewoman.
Got it. Thank you. Oh, the hat would have said everything.
Yeah.
This is gonna be terrible. These voices could not be as dissimilar.
What a delight it is to have such a welcome. What is it to have such a fine and gentle woman to Japan and from such a distant land?
Tea. Someone bring English tea. In England,
Oh
no
my
discussion
God.
take place without tea.
Isn't this what was this?
Is that
was it,
true?
Was it not April May? Was that the one that everybody was like simping over in the first case?
In the second case, yeah.
Yeah, that everybody was like, "Don't you dare!" No idea.
So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. My name is Satoru Hasanaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at the kind of...
Yes, we know all that about you already.
Inspector Hasanaga, where are your matters? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true?
No idea. More importantly, earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of.
Oh yes, I think I did, didn't I?
Yet your description of this amazing sight was simply a woman. Everybody needs to stop simping. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, Your powers of description are sorely lacking. Wow.
Guilty.
So, dear lady, once again, if we may have trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
Oh. Oh.
It's in English.
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but, what?
Oh,
No dragon is nonsense. The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes
my
from
God.
London, England. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in UMA University's medical faculty.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people.
So it didn't even matter.
That's why I kind of paused and tried to think, what do I say now?
You jebaited me and I'm upset. I had to think of a voice.
I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird song.
As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough.
Yes, I agree. You're obviously defined in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it?
I'm so upset at myself. No, you're clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. So gullible.
The court,
Never again.
The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Mr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? She says, yes. This could take some time.
So, even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese.
She'd like to apologize for disappearing from this scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately.
Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape.
I was just following special orders for the bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Real quick before we continue.
Yeah.
Is her text in the Japanese version just regular, Roman characters?
I don't know, but I would assume not, because it's meant to be unintelligible right now, so then it would be actually something you can understand. Because while this looks like cursive, this doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it was apparent the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood.
So she's very clearly Swan motif.
Order in court.
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolute conclusive witness statement.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is.
Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described.
I don't even care about her voice anymore.
I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes.
That's a lot.
I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
100% fair statement. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day.
That is a compelling testimony. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Why, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard, and look at this snow-white angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court's gonna believe.
Ugh.
Not even her words. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn.
Ugh, but he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go.
That's not how justice works. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however.
Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm.
Okay.
I would think she could have had a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to.
Fair enough, Ryunosuke.
Unless until a precise location where the witnesses to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter. That's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it.
Ooh. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke.
But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day.
You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to put her testimony apart. I was gonna say she's gonna smile. She's gonna smile. It's gonna zoom into a smile.
The defense will now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency.
I don't like Giselle Brett. Just cancel.
Well, that's just cute. Are we just pressing everything, or?
If you think that we shouldn't, we don't have to.
No, it's up to you.
We might as well. I mean, we're not going to finish today.
We're definitely not finishing today. After 2 p.m., in fact. It's really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are on vogue, isn't that right?
Here you go.
No.
See, you get to say fine.
No. Ah.
A decisive English no has quite a sting to it.
The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together.
But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first.
Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense.
Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence. Fine gentlewoman is.
So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next?
The professor... Oh, yeah, I was pressing. He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at a clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering.
Was Miss Brett aware of that fact?
It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. That would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left.
Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world, and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all.
That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water.
What do you think, Renosuke, about the witness's last statement? It's very meaningful.
The last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case.
Well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing?
The significance of that statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statements to be formally added to the testimony.
Well sidestepped, counsel.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she says. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one.
Which one?
The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I really could use that phrase.
I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryonosuke. I can already tell you that this is probably the one that we need to present evidence for, but we can keep pressing.
It's up to you.
Keep pressing. Let's go. Let's see what Brett has to say.
So both you and the professor drank this carbonated water, did you? Yes. Being the waiter, I poured the 2 glasses myself. I clearly remember doing so. Except you're actually a detective. Kazuma?
And the beefsteak. That was for you, Miss Brett.
The lady says she'd heard it was not customary to eat beef here in Japan until Japan opened its doors to the world. Yes, that's true. What a frightful place, is the lady's opinion. And I've heard it's not customary to eat sashimi in Great Britain. Now that's frightful.
Every country has its own cuisine. As long as people have food to eat, what does it matter what it is?
True. Come to think of it, the first time I tried carbonated water, it was much more of a shock than the first time I tried beef.
Why so spicy?
But anyway, back to this witness's statement.
Angry water.
Somehow, I feel like there's something out of place in what she's saying.
We need to pounce on even the slightest thing now. Because you never know what might lead us to our goal. Renosuke's such a goober. Our goal is turning this trial around. It's the name of the game. The name of the game.
Understood, Kazuma.
Roll credits.
After a while, the accused came to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument.
Yes.
I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over to say hello. Please don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese.
No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyways. English is the future. We must all speak English.
I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever, or only in the presence of a beautiful woman.
Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be. Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat.
That pod ties with what you said, doesn't it?
Yes, I still had some coffee to drink.
And the next time you got up after that...
Was when I'd finished my coffee and stood up to leave.
Smile devilishly.
Not yet. I guess we'll get through this cross-examination and then we'll... Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. Because you have finite time, right? Inheritance?
Yeah, as long as we don't go into like 8:30.
Oh, we can go a tiny bit longer.
And like I said, there's no point in repeating that assertion over and over.
Well, I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side.
Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shots rang out in the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand.
Well, yes, that's true, but all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at the time, the highly suspicious lady in the
That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel.
Dirty?
Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy.
Boy? Kazuma?
It seems to me that your accusations is just as baseless as ours.
What nonsense.
The lady is merely stating what she saw. And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. I don't care again myself.
That's the last one, yeah.
It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely. I verified it personally. You verified it? Yes, immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not." That's all you did? You just asked her?
Surely you carried out a physical... Duh.
No. Why on earth not?
The honorable English gentlewoman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. There was obviously no need for any further probing into the matter.
Or there was no permission given for any further probings into the matter, perhaps.
Think of how you will. But if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the refined ladies can a firearm, the prosecution demands that you support your assertion with facts.
In other words, he wants evidence.
Ugh. The lady wishes to point out that of course she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation, but she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave.
Checks out. Not to mention the fact that your office had told you to get the woman out of there.
Not get her out of there. I was just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point out that she in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime, which is why she is only too happy to cooperate and testify here in court today, of course.
Unlike a second student who refuses to admit when the game is up.
The game literally just started. This is a tutorial.
Could you at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you?
Zoom up.
So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him.
Which is an out-and-out, totally unfounded lie.
Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she is an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in dull, black school uniform.
I'm dressed exactly the same way as you are, except for the flapping red ribbons.
Well, anyways, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it is. If you can't do that, the trial's over. Even you with your thick skin must be able to feel the murderous look you're getting from around the room.
Only too well. I feel half dead already. The fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony isn't making me feel any better either.
The first thing to do is to press her on any of her statements that you seem even slightly off to you, which you already did. Do that, and an opening will present itself, I promise you.
I need to expose the true face of this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask.
Yikes.
That's what I should be aiming for in this cross-examination.
So yeah, go to the one about that one, and let's see what we can present. It's probably something that shows only one thing. So can we examine things before?
What do you want to examine?
Let's examine the one without the dead body, because the dead body could be hiding. Yeah, that one is fine. There's only one glass, so they couldn't cheer.
That's it? Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with the photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left.
She actually took the cup with her. Infallible.
That is correct, the lady says. Well, that is... It's odd. Very odd.
Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Ugh.
Bunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you?
Well, obviously, it's the cheers.
The cheers?
Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1.
Oh.
You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Are we supposed to be impressed by the nitpicking over minutia? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
Objection!
Minutia, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence?
Of course not. I would never do something so reckless.
Slap.
But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from that table. What? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there all along, she said, saying. Good gracious.
Oh, I reveal? Not yet.
So, sorry. There. As I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all.
Please.
We must remember that the student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or two in her state of disarray?
She literally would have nothing
It's
to
absurd.
hide.
Oh, really? So do we take it that you're now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief?
What? No. This can't be put down to mischief.
I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. She didn't have pockets.
It would seem she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying.
That's where she put the gun.
A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency, a small handheld pouch commonly carried by a well-to-do woman in England.
So a beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know really.
If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance.
Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. There's a deeper significance there, it's...
The handbag.
Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say?
Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items.
Small items like
Let me see.
a gun.
A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was a handbag,
So that-
in which it would have been perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right.
Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. Why didn't you just say it, Cosma?
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
Like, it's so weird. Like, there's no reason for him
He-
to not have said something.
He's letting Ryunosuke handle it. Ryunosuke's
Yeah,
the
but
defense, the lawyer right now.
Oh my god. Okay. It's really very simple. I can't stand these people. Oh my god. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't be seriously suggesting.
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
There's no ballistic forensics,
No!
so we can't know. Who knows?
Order.
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meeting of what, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose a real woman behind the mask.
Do you think so, Kazuma?
Just dies. It's like, oh, oh no.
Nariunsky's being held for that murder too. What a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print. This print is a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag.
Well, I never. You could see right through to what's inside.
Wonder what that bull mark is relevant for.
That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment.
So the contents are clearly visible.
Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Ugh. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruto-san.
And now he's gonna get incriminated for his own murder. Like,
Order! Inspector Hoshinaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once.
Certainly, Your Excellency.
I'm just looking for a good spot to stop. Think you had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt on this matter, and I must make my ruling.
oh, this would be a good point.
I gotta
Keep them in suspense, right?
I'm just waiting for a quick little twist.
Is there a better one?
Indeed, there's only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of the crime.
No. Just when
You
I
see the
thought
family
I was
with it.
beginning to turn the things around. I remember what situation that was at the start.
Oh, even Kazuma.
Kazuma.
His bandana. I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue.
What? You mean this is it?
I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat, while the strong eat. You are wasting your time. There is no way to defeat true justice. In fact, you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell.
This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma. His dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma.